To get with the programming, I'm Chase Ingram.
Captain America.
And along with me is Bill Grundler. And today, I wish I had pulled this up while we were talking about this. I don't even know if you can hear this. Can you hear this? If I share this tab?
I hear nothing.
Hold on. Today is CrossFit Inferno's 17th year anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations. Oh, this is it, right? You know what song this is?
I can't hear it.
Can't hear it?
No.
Dang it. Hold on.
Can anybody else hear it?
Let me pull it up. Maybe I have to pull it up on the screen. Do you know this is? Can you hear it now?
Oh.
Huh? That's it.
It's our anniversary. Tony.
Let's see.
Tony.
Tony.
It's our anniversary.
What y'all know about Tony? Is all I gotta say. Probably nothing. This is what I work out to.
Nice, dude.
Bill, happy anniversary, man. 17
Dude.
years. Oh, wait, we do have a special guest on the show. I almost forgot. And how could I forget? But it is. Hello.
Hello.
What's up, dude?
I'm having a 7 p.m. coffee for this.
I was like, isn't it late
for
and
you.
you're drinking coffee?
A quad shot.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Nothing
Is it
wrong with
Irish?
that.
That's my
I'm
question.
tired.
It's 7. What are you talking about? You're tired.
But yeah, one of my youngest has taken to waking up at dumbass o'clock.
Ooh,
Ah.
it's rough. That's rough.
That's life.
Pedro, we're celebrating Bill's
Crazy.
17-year anniversary.
Crazy.
Isn't that wild?
17 years is nuts.
Yeah.
And
You started doing CrossFit when Greg Lassman was just a sperm in his dad's ball sack.
it's not that he was like 8, but come on now. You know, he was 8.
That's crazy.
You know what's crazy is on our 10th anniversary, we did a 24-hour workout where every hour on the hour we did a workout.
Oh, I remember that. God, that was 7 years ago.
7 years ago, dude.
Oh,
I know, time's flying. But
Wow.
I had Glassman and Sevon came to the gym, and they started off our very first workout, and I had Greg Glassman gave the class, the whole group, a 3, 2, 1 go, and we did Fran.
damn. That's
How
cool.
sick is that?
That's cool.
That's so awesome.
What
Yeah.
are you going to do anything this year?
Well, what we did, I was just telling Chase about this. I'm so bad about like anniversaries or those kind. Like I just don't think about them. Not that they aren't important. They totally are. I never think about them. All right, my head's so buried in whatever it is that I'm doing that by the time I pick my head up, I'm like, oh shit, we missed it again. Every year it's that way. So I had one of my members was saying like, hey, we need to do something. What are we going to do? We need to do something. And I had like, I don't know, I think it was last week they said that. And I'm like, well, shit, I can't pull anything together that fast. So I'm like, what if I find the first workout that we ever did?
Oh, yeah. You need to unveil that that we teased out yesterday.
Yeah. So I went back. Have you guys ever used the Wayback machine?
No, I don't even know what this is. You were
Okay,
saying that yesterday.
Yeah. The Wayback machine is a website that archives old websites. So if you ever had a website that was up and it's not up anymore, you can go back and it will have it archived.
Like the old games website?
Everything.
Like porn?
So, yeah.
I mean, like
probably
articles
probably like Betty Page. You could probably find some stuff there, Pedro, if you wanted some of the old school
Betty
stuff.
White?
Maybe old school stuff. But I went back, and so we had the website that we were using way back was you guys probably, maybe you don't even know what this is, but there's WordPress and there's all this.
I was about to say, was it WordPress?
No, that's what we have now. The old one, it was called TypePad. TypePad. Yeah.
Was that a stone and chisel? Or?
It was. It was hieroglyphics on a wall.
That's how Bill took notes in high school.
But I found it, and so we opened up the gym in October, but I was running the website as a firefighter online training thing for like 6 months before that. So I had the website up, I could find September. I had like the last 2 weeks of September that I could actually find, and found all the stuff that I wrote on there. And it was all my writings of, we got equipment in, we're going to be able to have our first workout and all of that stuff.
Wow.
And then October, I didn't have the first one. Like, it only gave me the last 2 weeks of October. And I'm like, shit. So I'm looking through it and I'm like, all right, well, I don't have the first one, but let me find one that's on there that's pretty close. So there was like, of course, there was Cindy. I'm like, we're not going to do Cindy. That's dumb. Even if I change all the numbers to like 17, which I thought about for a second, I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Then it was like I was used to do Fran a lot. Like, we would do firefighter Fran, like in turnouts, and we would do a triple Fran. So you do Fran, you wait 3 minutes, do Fran again, wait 3 minutes, do Fran again. So we would do that on air. Things like that. And I'm like, we're not going to do that. That would be dumb. But there was this one that was awesome. And it was, the very first part was, how long does it take you to do a 3-minute freestanding handstand hold?
You did that 17 years ago?
Yeah, dude. So that was the first one.
I think so.
That was the first one.
I'm 36 years and I haven't hit the cap yet.
Yeah, it was at week 1.
Well, I mean, and again, like, I already knew who was doing it, and like, we weren't trying to get, nobody even knew what CrossFit was then. Like, you say CrossFit, they're like, cross training. What is that cross training for? So no one knew what it was. And my first workouts with CrossFit were a lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah. How long does it take you to do 5 sets of like 1 minute unbroken handstand holds on the wall? Weird things. Greg did all kinds of weird shit like that. He also had, and you hated this, Chase, body weight designations. So like Linda was body weight designation, right? It was 3/4 or 1 and then 1.5. So the workout that we are doing today was 21-15-9-3 of 1.5 deadlift, 1.5 body weight deadlifts, and then GI Jane burpee pull-ups.
Oh.
So what we did today was, I said, okay, you can do 3 minutes of freestanding handstand, or 5 minutes. How long it take you to do 5 minutes on the wall, and you have a 10-minute time frame to do it in. And then the workout part was 21-17-9-3.
I got it.
Everyone thought that I made a typo, and I'm like, it's 17 years, guys. I had to slide it in there somewhere. Of body weight, 1.5 body weight deadlifts, or 315, 215, 75% of your 1 rep max, and then the burpee pull-ups, like 2 outreach fingers up at the top. And that was a workout. So that's what we did today.
Awesome. So you guys basically
what'd you say about the fingers?
You had the height that you had to go. So,
okay,
it used to be like 8 feet. So like my reach is, if I reach all the way up, I'm 8 feet, like right to the tips of my fingers.
I was like, how can you do a burpee pull-up if your fingers are loose at the top? That doesn't make any sense.
No, you fall off the bar really fast. But so I told everyone that, like, that's what they for RX, that's what they did.
Okay.
And it was fun. I mean, everyone's kind of stoked on it. But dude, like, it's just dumb because, like, what's 17 years? I mean, it's not 20, it's not 15. It's like this weird number. But for me, like, it just makes sense because I never remember any of the other ones anyway. So it's like, okay, 17, sure, we'll do it on that one. But it's pretty cool. I like having that now, and so we'll use that. We'll use that again. But I definitely want to do the 24-hour one again. That was fun.
Will you do that for like 20 or something like that?
I think we'll do it for the 20.
You get to 20 years in October. Call me.
Okay. Remember what I think Tanya did something like that, and we would run the workouts for her on the hour during COVID. Do you remember that?
Yeah. You know what we could do in 20 years is, I would love to come if all works out.
Oh,
do it with you. And we could like live cover the whole thing.
That would be really fucking cool.
Just a 24-hour marathon.
Did you guys ever do that? Has it made it over to America, that 24-hour AMRAP now?
No.
Does this like there's a gym in Amsterdam or something? And he does this 24-hour AMRAP. We did it twice. We did it in the winter and we did it in the summer. Maybe we did it 2 winters. But it's a different movement every hour, and there's like scaling options, and you get points for how many like whatever you do. So say hour 1 might be like just empty barbell thrusters, but it's a full hour and you're on a team of 4, so you can rotate as you want.
Okay. God, thank God.
And then the second hour,
how did you not get rhabdo?
The second hour might be like handstand walks or bear crawls, but bear crawls is worth like 1/4 of a point compared to handstand walks. And then your team puts together a score. But one of my friends did it on his own. And you have to make it to a specific number each round. Like if you don't hit
like a minimum
say,
work
50
requirement.
thrusters, you're out.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's the closest to insane I've ever been.
That's I like what that is. When we did our 24-hour one, it was I put a cap on 15 minutes. So we ran at the top, and you either finish it ahead of time if it was like a girl workout or something like that, or if the workout that we were doing, if you didn't finish, you would get capped at 15 minutes. So you had 45 minutes off every single thing, every single hour. Those would be fun. But so we did it at the original gym. Rory came out one time. He was out here because he was dating Angie at the time. I think they weren't even married yet.
Dang.
And we were testing power output at the gym. And so what I had people do was, okay, what movement do you think generates more power? And it was whatever. It would be 10 minutes of max pull-ups, 10 minutes of max, not all in the same day. We would do it different times. 10 minutes of max pull-ups, 10 minutes of max thrusters at like 95 pounds, 10 minutes at max deadlifts at like, I think 185 or something like that, to see how much force times distance you would get, and then like do the math to see like, okay, why does Fran work the way that it works? Why are thrusters so nasty compared to other movements? That was back when everyone was learning the stuff.
Yeah.
And that was me teaching the stuff to the people, like, here's a test, you guys play with this. And they're like, oh, that sounds weird. Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
And then Roy was like, Bill, I come to your place and you have me do 10 minutes of thrusters? Fuck you. I'm not coming back ever again. I'm like, oh, all right, maybe that was a little bad, but
that's funny.
A lot of learning in 17 years.
And congrats, dude. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Crazy.
Thanks.
Yeah, that 20-year thing would be cool.
Yeah. You know what? So we were back when we first started, we were, I think, like 1,000 or 1,100 in the world, like number.
Oh, yeah.
I would be interested to see what we are now with all the attrition and all the gyms that have come out. Like, does CrossFit have that? They used to have all the gyms listed.
I could probably figure that out.
I thought if I opened a gym, I thought I'd use that number, whatever number it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Like CrossFit 9722 or I don't know, whatever. Like 14332 or whatever.
I wonder if I can figure that out.
That's what Johnny Davies, he called his gym 179 because he's the 179th red shirt when he was a red shirt.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
If you could figure that out, dude, I would be stoked.
Okay. I'll effort that.
Cool.
I should be able to. In the meantime, Pedro, thank you for joining us. Guys, 45 minutes from now, Around the Whiteboard will be going down. Hosted by Pedro. Who's on the show?
We're priming. We're fluffing them right now.
Didn't need that.
Lucy Campbell.
Lucy Campbell, Kiefer Lamy, and Tyler Watkins.
Lucy Campbell, the recent winner of CrossFit Jeopardy.
And the winner of essentially every debate she's ever gone on.
She's pretty good.
Yeah.
She's pretty good. So when you guys are watching this, don't do anything, because once we sign off, you'll be taken right to Pedro's page. We'll try to get off a little before that time so you can get ready.
So you can get your clock up at the top up there, and have all that.
Because I've been doing that show for about 18 months and I still forget to load the clock every time.
It's all right. I screw up our intro once a week. Every time I just hit the wrong button. But today we are talking about the TYR Cup, or I guess we should formally the TYR Cup.
The cup.
I don't know what to do with that.
The cup.
The cup.
The cup. Yeah, the cup.
Cup filled with tears.
the cup
Tears of past champions. And we're going to go through I'll have 4, Bill will have 4, Pedro will have 4 things we would like to improve upon, or 4 suggestions to make the TYR Cup even better than it already is. I already think it's fantastic. From what it did from year 1 to year 2, it's something I think it's needed. It fills the void of the invitational that everybody wants back. And if that's not coming back, I'm really glad that Dylan and his team at Wodapalooza stepped up to give something like this to the people in the offseason. Pedro, you were there for the first year. sideline. You were so good they didn't bring you back.
Yeah.
What was it like watching?
I was so good they scrapped the whole concept.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we
totally
replaced them.
overshadowed the
No,
entire
it was
podcast.
actually just a terrible idea. Just get rid of the whole idea. We can't afford the $15, so just get rid of everything. What was the question? Sorry, what did I think of it?
Obviously, it would have been great if you were there. We got to hang out a lot last year. I thought it was a super awesome time just to spend some time together. I thought you were phenomenal. How was it watching? Was the coverage decent enough to get the point across, or did you pick up on some things at home that you might be bringing to the show today?
No, so I thought the coverage was really good. I didn't see any of the coverage last year because I was there. I don't think I was very good at it, so it's kind of flattery that you're saying that, but I don't think it's true. But the event was good last year. The athletes were really relaxed. I think it was like, it's a shame that was the start that it had, because obviously like Lazar dies in August, and then in September you have TYR SoCal, and then it's just this overshadowing thing constantly that it's almost like people were like, are we supposed to be happy? Like, are we allowed to just have fun, or what's the story? But yeah, I think it was really good. It was really well done last year. I think it probably didn't get the attention it deserved because of all of that stuff. I think from, Semi knowing Lazar, I think he would have been like, this is fucking awesome. Like, I'm so happy that everybody's happy and having a good time. And then this year, I thought it was like it's sort of like what it could have been last year. Like, it was this big festival. It looked like everything looked full all the time. The vendor area looked packed all the time. The coverage was really good. You guys nailed it with the commentary. The events were really good to watch. The stream was really good. It was, there isn't a lot of like some of the events I was a bit like, okay. Some of the scoring I was like, all right, that's a bit dumb, but like I get it too. And I think the main thing is that they've been pretty explicit since the start that it's essentially a showcase.
Yeah.
But obviously the athletes will take it seriously and try and beat each other when the moment comes, but it's very relaxed, very jovial. And I think that's why they can do things by like, oh, this workout's worth 2, because it's just like, whatever. So I think they've get in and earned that leniency to sort of be like, yeah, it's whatever, who cares? Like, didn't they change one of the scores last year because someone was running away with it? Like, that kind of stuff. I kind of don't really
they're like, let's just make this one worth 4.
Yeah.
So that's good. So I'm excited about this. There's always some room for improvement with everything anybody does. And that's what this show will be centered around. So you guys ready?
Ready.
All right. Without further ado, Mount Rush Moments, top 4 things we'd like to change about the TYR Cup. I get so excited to play that every time.
I love that. Without further ado, and then you play a 2-hour-long piece of music.
Well, it was better than us just playing the music and just like sitting here looking at it.
Well, and then I always forget, and I start talking right in the middle of it. So that's why he shuts the mic off, because I've jumped in too many times. So.
Like, all right. Top 4 ways to improve the TYR Cup with no exact order. Pedro.
Oh God, was I supposed to send you stuff?
No.
Oh,
you tell me right now. Yeah, you tell me right now. I'll start. I'll start with the obvious one because I feel like sometimes we'll repeat. I don't know Bill's. Obviously, we don't know Pedro's because he knows he didn't send us anything.
Hey, I only know one of mine, so this is gonna be fun.
Good. All right. So I will go with the easiest one that I feel like everybody would like to see, and I'm just gonna say more teams. I want to see more teams at the TYR Cup. I think something like North America, Europe, and World might be the best place to start for year 3, where I would say as the talent improves or the depth increases, we can start adding more isolated regions. Because back in the old Invitational, it was Canada, US, South. I don't even know if South America got a team yet. It was Europe, Pacific were really those mainstay teams. And I think maybe we can get there where the 5th team is like a world team of Asia, Africa, South America, right? We want to make sure is that they're competitive But I think
Dude.
more teams would be better than just 2. So that's my first one.
You're not having Asia, Africa, South America, and competitive in the same sentence.
I mean, I feel like you can get.
I know. I think you subconsciously just blew John Young's mind right there.
All right. Well, I just give you mine. Are we going to discuss each one?
You're first. Well, I mean, if
mine,
anybody
I think we're all going to say that one. I'll just give you my more teams. So I thought if you did USA, because that just has the most high level athletes, like per capita, not per capita, but as in per capita of games people. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought like as Sevon would call it, a socialist team. So like Canada and Europe as one team. And then world as like the third team. Because I thought that, like, I was kind of looking at the teams and I was like, yeah, I mean, it's not like North Canada and USA being together is sort of stacking the deck a bit.
Yes.
So I thought, right, well, if you need Canada can't be on its own because it just doesn't have that depth anymore. So I said, right, well, what if you put it with Europe, and then that kind of levels the playing field a bit, because there's just so many strong like USA people. I thought that leveled it out a bit.
I like it. Bill?
I didn't actually have more teams like that. I like the idea of the invitational, but I think what that does is that really shrinks down the number of people on the teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if we were talking something like this, or in this realm, in the same sort of realm, I had an idea of, okay, we have this super mega North America team. We have this super mega world team. To have those teams competing, if we were able to somehow bring the like the community side into it. So maybe like on Saturday, on the last event on Saturday, make it a is it the Wodapalooza was the teams of 3, or is that the games?
Yeah.
Wodapalooza. Okay, so you have your teams of men, you have your teams of women for your North America team, you have your teams of men, teams of women for the world team, and then what you do is you take whoever's winning at that point of the RX men's team and the RX women's team, and that becomes the RX team. And so they'll do that event. So you almost have an exhibition of these 3 teams that are out there on the floor. The 2 world teams, or the 2 cup teams, aren't going to be affected. They're not going to lose by the RX team, but the RX team gets to be out there with them on the big stage, getting the big commentary, that sort of thing. So a way to somehow bridge that community and world team competition, just to kind of give a little showcase to them, because there is a lot that's going on for the RX intermediate and all the other teams that are going on. But from outside, like when you're sitting outside, and not that I think that they should have coverage on that, I'm not saying that. But when you're outside, you want to see how big that is. Was that not very friendly or what?
No, it's perfectly friendly.
Okay. Is this true? But I think that would be kind of fun to do, to give, because there are a lot of people in the RX division that are, old blasphemy. That it's like older team athletes or games level athletes. So you could have some other people in the mix. I just think it would be kind of fun to somehow bridge the gap. I don't know how to do it exactly, but somehow bridge the gap, because I don't want to make the teams smaller than they are already, because with all the events and the way that they moved all the people around, I liked how they had options to let the athletes compete without being just smashed.
I think even if you add teams, I think you stick with 8, and then you just have, someone just doesn't do a couple of events. Like you just rotate around. I think 8 is good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all are gonna hate my second one because I think I would like to see their teams reduced down to 6.
Well, if you're going with more teams, though, that would make sense, though, right? Because
I don't know, though. You'd have to. I'll take some convincing on this.
All right. So with more teams, I want less people. It'd also be financially a little bit easier to shoulder the load, and we can add even more. I also think the team format for the CrossFit Games should move back to 6, but at no point should every 6 person be competing all at the same time.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think there's a lot of formatting, like you guys were saying, where people can still get breaks. So say 6 versus 6, it's all individuals. You can have You can have same-sex pair versus a mixed gender pair. There's your 3. You can have a team of 4, and then the pair of 2 that didn't compete. Do one versus the other. There's a lot of ways you can do the tier or the SoCal Wodapalooza, 3 men only, 3 women only. You can still have the captains events. I think reducing the number and making more teams would keep the quality of the team high. Whereas, we've got to scramble 8 random people to make this world team because we've already taken US and Europe out of the equation. Well, how are we going to field an appropriate team of 8? And I think reducing the team number would help keep the quality high and easily add more people without as much of a price tag to make it happen. And then there's a way to have that coincide with the game season as well. Because I think if we really want to make the game season teams interesting, we have to totally revamp the entire thing. And I think this cup format is the place we should be basically beta testing what that could look like. And I feel like everybody enjoyed this team competition. Obviously, it's only 2 teams. It's really easy to follow than anything we've seen at the games in the last 3 to 5 years. So I like reduce number of the teams. Pedro.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate it. I get what you're saying as well, that you get the cream of the crop rather than and here's fucking Jeff because, everyone else isn't doing it and he's just some guy from France that we threw.
Invitational was 4.
Yeah.
At its peak.
My second one, I don't know what to call it, like drop a nuke or something.
Okay.
So basically, you have these events, say 8 events or however many events, and one team before an event starts can basically veto the other team getting a score for the event, but it's set afterwards. So you do the teams as they're planning out their their little briefing thing that they're going through. They just say, okay, we're not going to do well on the lift, or we're not going to do well on whatever. So that's the one. We only get one. That's the one we're going to do. And then nobody tells anybody. You do the event, and then afterwards it's like, but that score is 0 because Europe used their nuke, or that score is 0 because USA used their nuke. So even if it's like, imagine it's Fran or something, and the other team is like fucking going for it. And then halfway through, they realize they're like, shit, they're not trying. They must have used their nuke, and we're just killing ourselves for nothing. I think that'd be fun.
Man, that would be wild. Like, what if it was? I could just think of a scenario where the singles event, rope climb and dumbbell snatch, right? USA or North America had to win, or else they were going to go down by like 4 going into the last day. And so everyone's on the edge of their seat. Olivia Kerstetter takes down Tia, and they're like, just bad news, guys. Team North America. We'll just nuked your score.
But there's gamesmanship to it too, where the rest of the world would have to be like, okay, we're using our nuke, but we can't make it obvious because we want them to fatigue themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have to make it a race until it doesn't matter anymore, so that we can, there's no point walking to the first thing and then the other team are looking at me like, oh, there's no point. They've used their nuke. There's no point in us trying. Or you could game it the other way and be like, let's start really slow, hope that they pull off the gas, and then just pass them because they think that we've used our nuke and then we haven't.
Dang. That would be awful.
I just think the more tactics there is, the better when it comes to
I get it.
Yeah.
Well, what I like this year is that they had 2 last-minute sub options, even though that never really came into play at any time, or it did, and they're like, yeah, don't worry about those rules. We're just going to change people out as they want to. That would be brutal.
Yeah.
Damn. Bill?
So I had this one, and again, I'm just trying to stay sort of in the order that you guys have. Mine would be the scoring. I talked to Tyler a little bit about this. I'm like, how would P-Score work with this? Would it work? And he's like, it'd be too difficult with 2 teams. But it seems like there could be a way that instead of having the you get an extra point if you make the time cap, and playing that game didn't really matter. Everybody got the extra point. They did the time frame thing. Is how much did your team beat the other team by? To where you're taking some sort of a percentage that way. So, okay, maybe you win, you get the 100 points for that event. Yeah. How far off was the other team? Because that way, Like you can't just kind of go, well, let's just slow everything down. We'll hope that we get the extra point. It's like, okay, we're right behind them. So maybe they beat us, but like, we were 93% of their 100% time wise or whatever. So we're right behind them, or we got our asses handed to us. And so we were 75% off of their time. I don't know how to do it. I don't know where the math would be. That would be something I'd mess with Tyler about, but there's got to be a way to where the teams are invested the entire event. I hated seeing when it didn't matter. I hated seeing where it's like, okay, well, we just have to make the time, and they're just kind of cruising to make the time. And then the numbers to me got, I had a hard time with the numbers. I didn't like the fact that everyone involved is doing the first event, the Echo Fran, and it counted the least out of everything, even though every single person was involved in it. It just seemed hard to me. So some way to work the system to where every single event and every single piece counts the same.
I like that. I think that is a must.
Yeah.
Obviously to keep it interesting. Also to keep it easy to follow.
Right.
Because the scoring system was the hardest thing to understand. And if you don't know the way it's going to be scored, how can you even follow the event with any type of excitement or understanding? So
yes, it does make me nervous because it was ones and twos, and it still made it really hard to follow. Right. So like, I don't know if doing hundreds and percentages of that is going to make it any easier, but I don't know. But something has to. I just want that the events all count, so where you can see how that goes. So everyone's in the fight for every single event the whole time.
Yeah, I like that. My third one has to do with adding more excitement to the event outside of the scoring system, in which I will think would entice athletes to try hard the entire time. So I believe there was the prize purse of like $160,000 between that. I think someone had mentioned this, and if I'm not giving you credits because I don't remember who you were, make every event its own prize. So every event is worth $15,000. And as your team performs based off how they place, let's just say it's the three teams that we have here. If your team wins, you get $7,500 to the team. If you get second, you get $5,000. And if you get third, you get $2,500. And over the course of 11 events, you have $165,000 available, but you will only win based off your performance on each event. So my prize, basically prize purse per
distribution
event place.
Per place.
I'd change third place to like $200 just to be like, fuck you guys, try harder.
Yeah, well, whatever that is, right? It's like, all right, say we have a 6-person team. I'm just going with my scenario. If our team wins, all of us are going to make 1,000, whatever, right? What is it?
Yeah.
If we get second, we're all making like 750. And if we get third, we're only making like 300 per person. And every event has 15 grand on the line. And so you still get your final total prize purse that you're going to give to the teams, but you're just not, it's not a win-loss scenario. Like you will win and gain prize money as you compete at the highest level. So say team 1 wins by a landslide, there's something on the line between 2 and 3 more than just a point. It's like, we'll get that point at the end, right? If we have a better 2 events, we can move up. It's like, no, we have to get the money now, right? So like everything is on the line at each time, along with a different scoring system. So that's what I would like to see.
My third one is basically the inverse of my second one, of like double up. So the same scenario where you get to decide, okay, we're going to play our double card on this next workout, where if we win, instead of getting 1 point, we get 2, because we're confident that we're going to win the next one, which also adds the intrigue of we're going to play our double point, but shit, they still have their nuke. So if they know that, like the weightlifting event, we're going to play our double up because we'll definitely get the points, but then is that too obvious? And they're going to know and then use their nuke. And then we've used our double, but we get nothing.
That's actually really funny.
I think it's obviously it's like, oh, it's too complicated and blah, blah. But like, I don't know if it's like this in fantasy football in the States, but in fantasy football, like soccer, on the website, you can use like bench boost, where like you get points for your bench players, or you
Oh,
triple captain, where like your captain gets triple points instead of double points, or you can use like a wild card where you get to just change your whole team for 1 week and then it changes back. So I was thinking of that, like little cards that you could play to be like, you know, it's easy to explain because it just flashes up on the screen, and then Chase and whoever says, oh, they're playing their nuke and the other team don't read. So then we're in on it because we know that it's happening.
yeah.
We're like, no,
Oh, yeah.
trying, or no, you need to try harder or whatever.
Well, what would be interesting too is before every event, you can pull up what teams have what cards left.
Yeah.
Is a guy, we have 4 events to go. You say you pull up a graphic and it's like Team USA, double card and nuke.
Yeah.
So in fact, we have just like a nuclear missile or
Yeah.
the what is it,
an
the
atom
radioactive
bomb logo. Yeah.
They still have their nuke left. Team, Canada Europe has already used their nuke, and
Yeah.
Team World still has their double. And this is what's on the line left. And then it's like, all right, we just heard from their coach like halfway through the event. They're like, they're about to. Team USA is about the nuke world.
That's so funny.
That would be. I get what you're saying. Yeah, that would be really funny.
I just think when it's a showcase, you might as well fuck around with it and just be like,
Have fun.
yeah, just change. Like, it doesn't have to be this serious, like, oh, everything's, it's, you make it what it is, and then you just say, no, this is just the way it is. It's like loose, and there's a bit of intrigue to it, and I just love the idea of an athlete just selling their soul on a workout, looking up and realize, like, imagine Dallin getting off the bike and then looking around and be like, wait, why is everybody looking at me like that? And the person that has to deliver that news to Dallin to be like, yeah, so they used their nuke.
Oh, and that would be on the MC too. It's like, breaking news.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, that's brutal. Bill, what do you got for number 3?
So I really loved that this went down on the team in for the TYR Wodapalooza with Jason and Ricky, and who was with them? Was it Justin?
Mm-hmm.
When they got mic'd up?
Oh, yeah.
I think that these guys should be mic'd up. This is an exhibition, and I think that these teams need to be mic'd up somehow. Either it's the team captain gets mic'd up, or what they do is, if you are deciding to be on the team, that for an allotted amount of time, whether that's during your workout, in between the events, whatever, you are now, boom, on there with the microphone. And so that they are going to stick that on you, and you now will be recorded.
I love that.
What would be interesting is if they do something like what Pedro was talking about with the double points and the Nukem card, to be able to hear when that is. So whether it's only posted like afterwards, or if they do like a behind the scenes when you get to hear when all of those things get said, I think that would be cool. I think it would be a little bit too much like in the beginning, unless they like made sure that nobody had use of their phones and all that kind of stuff, because you couldn't hear that. But if you could hear, if someone like on the outside is watching the live stream and you could pull up the live audio from this athlete has the mic right now at this time, and then this athlete has the mic at this time, and you can hear them talking about like, yeah, screw that guy, we're going to give them the nuke anyway. So when Dallin's up there, we're just going to watch him explode himself, and we're going to nuke him. Like, I think
maybe Guy thought that's what was happening.
Maybe,
like, oh,
maybe, right? But I think that would. I mean, and again, I think the spirit of this event is exhibition.
Yes,
it's all-star game. Like, there's nothing.
Even you did it, like, said, if you had really fast post-production on it, and you had like a little tiny mini like 90-second documentary after the event where it's like the mic'd up, even if they're not actually physically mic'd up, but you just have a camera person right beside them with a mic on, just following one person, and then you just post it as a little reel or as a little like YouTube.
Dude, yeah. Event 2 mic'd up.
Yeah.
That would probably get
so many views, dude. So many.
And you can play it between events. So like, you guys are on the broadcast, and then you know you have downtime, so you just play this video and it just goes out then too.
Yeah. I
think that would be, I think that, again, playing to the exhibition, you are putting these athletes on exhibition. And I just think that the behind the scenes stuff always sucks people in, and that would be massive. All the shit talking, like the real shit talking that we want to hear, not the fake shit talking. People getting pissed, people getting angry. I want to hear Tia yelling at everyone, like actually.
Dude,
what is
it
she
was
saying?
there. They were doing that on the sides the whole time, like during
Yeah.
the monostructural triplet with whatever, balance burpees were for one, the GHD sit-up one, like he was coming over there. I mean, there's stuff that is going on there behind the scenes the whole time.
I so much to grab, which I think would be amazing.
That's a really good one. That's a really good one. All right, my last one is more of a way to improve for the viewer, the fan that is a casual. I also think this will help with promotion. I think this will help with understanding. I think this will help with excitement of following it. And I think we should standardize the entire format. So it's going to be, say we know it's going to be 10 events and then one captain's events. We know that. We know it's going to be a full team event, a singles event, a mixed pair, a same-sex pair, a teams of 4. Like, what event is when, you just don't know what the event is. And along with that standardization is like, all right, who's the team going to be? So if we know the format coming in, say they release Team USA, and we already know the format. We don't know the events. How many shows are we going to do of, hey, what type of pairing or trio or singles or captains would Team USA fare well in with this roster? And then they release Team Canada Europe, and we do the same thing. And then they release Team World, and we do the same thing. And then we do a whole thing leading into it without even knowing what the events are, of what the best head-to-head matchups based on the format that we know we're going to have, that we know what the scoring system is going to be. And then once we know what the events, now we know exactly how things could be put into place. It's still up to them at the end of the day. But standardizing everything before it starts, it'll be easy to promote. It'll be easy to understand, easier to watch. And then everyone will be involved because they can, like, it's hard to watch a game you don't understand.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like, Pedro, when you first started watching American football, was it a couple years ago? Like, really?
When I first started watching, I'd say I've watched a grand total of 1/4 of one game.
But when you do that,
I think was it who maybe it's JR I was texting, and I was like, as I was watching, I was like, so is this what's happening? And I was trying to figure out, like, so the basic aim is obvious: throw the ball, get to the end. Like, but I was like, right, why are they doing this bit? Is this because of the? And like within about 10 minutes, I was like, okay, I understand this game.
Right.
I still didn't enjoy it, but I understood it. But yeah, I think standardizing without making it boring. Like, you still need that bit of intrigue, like you're talking about, where it's like, we don't know the events though.
Right.
Like, I mean, vaguely what's coming up at the games, but there's still a lot of unknown within that, which is why it's interesting. So yeah, I think you're on something there.
And then I think once you start doing the event trickle out, is like, hey, full team, this is the event. And it's like 3 weeks out. Now we know what the teams are. You're like, okay, who do we think would be best? And then we just get to do that all the way to lead up. And I just think a standardization of everything coming in, more of an outline, right? So we don't know what's going to happen every year, but we know what the format is. Like a football game, we know the rules, we know the time, we know this, like, we know all that. We just still don't know how the game's going to play out, and we watch every weekend. And so I think that would help tremendously to improve the excitement about the event. All right, Pedro, your last one.
De-standardize. No. So this is me sitting at home, and it's no shade on you, Chase, so don't take it as that. But I really like what Rogue has done of the multiple choice streams. And I really like what Spin does of the watch along, where it's, you can have you guys open and muted and Spin open, and you can just listen to, it's as if you're sitting in, like, with friends watching something, and then you can unmute and mute as you go.
Yeah.
I think, like, formalizing that, of giving like a separate stream that you can be like, I wonder what shit talk is going to be talked about this, and you just flick over, and it's similar but different. So it's the same footage, seeing the same stuff. They're still courtside, so they still actually have a view of it. It's not like, Spin, Tyler and John in their own homes. It's like they're there and they can see it, and they can see everything you can see, and they say in lane 5 it's whoever, instead of just reacting when the camera changes. Which, I mean, I tried to do a Friends Throwdown, and God of almighty, it was a shit show. So I think if you're doing something like that, you need to be there looking at it. But I just think it's a different I think it gives, you need something for everyone. And I think there's a lot of people will cry and say, well, we need to professionalize and it needs to be this like pristine and sleek and whatever. And it's like, yeah, cool. But there also is an audience that just wants, holy shit, did you see that? As opposed to, and in lane number 3, no offense, Chase. But I think there's an audience for both. And I think sometimes I'm in the mood to watch Chase and Sean call the action. And then other times I'm in the mood to just be like, I just want someone to talk shit about one of the athletes, or I just want someone to laugh at something that happens and not try to remain, stoic or whatever. So I think, adding a separate option, but the key thing is it has to be somebody with the view of the floor who can actually call the action. Right. And not just react to what's happening on the stream, not like an actual watch along. Like I want Spin, John, and Tyler sitting 3 seats away from you and Sean, calling the same action in their own way.
Well, I mean, they do that for Monday Night Football. They have the Manning cast. And like Monday Night Football is probably Monday Night Football is probably the most premier weekly sporting event in the NFL, hands down. It's not even close. And they have a separate stream with it showing, not the audio, maybe it's faint, with Eli Manning and Peyton Manning. And they're just doing what you're saying. Like if they can do that for the NFL, which is what the most professional we would think of from a broadcast perspective, and they still have that, then absolutely they should have something similar to that.
The only thing with that is people love to compare CrossFit to other sports when it suits them and then not compare it when it suits them as well. So people will be like, we need to be more professional and inclusive like the NFL. And then if you point out that like, well, actually the NFL isn't that, it's like, shut up. We need to be more professional. It's like, well, the NFL they have that other show where shut up. You're not allowed to compare negatively. You can only compare aspirationally.
Anything to fit the narrative of which I'm projecting, which everyone knows me by. Yes. I agree. I like that one. Bill,
I love that one. Yeah, I got my last one. There were a lot of people that were really bothered at the fact that James Sprague was not at the TYR Cup, right? I think that, it's blasphemy. I think that what should happen, or that what would be fun to have happen, is that it is a community voted team. So you get to put numbers in, and there's you can set a certain level of requirements. Okay, games athletes. Okay, so if you're a games athlete in the last games, okay, you could be in it.
DeWan Jung.
Right. Well, maybe. I mean, maybe. Okay, who would pick that person? I don't know.
John Young.
I mean, like John Young would. Okay, so they get one, and then the other athletes would get more. But like, have whatever way you want to set it up to where you can do it. It's kind of like when you're a parent and you want your kid, you want to have the kid basically feel like they are making the decision on whatever it is, but you give them 2 socks and you're fine with either. But they go, I want that one. You're like, look at you with that great decision. That's awesome. You let the community decide and think about. You would almost the shows you could do with that are almost like a draft show, like who's getting picked to be on the team. And all the buildup you would have going into that, then to set that stage going into whatever. I mean, if the community pick the captains, I think that they could pick the team, because I think generally speaking, you're going to get the same people. I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of outliers. And granted, those people could always say, hey, I'm not going to do it. But to set that up, I think that would be, I think it'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Thanks, dude.
Remember last year,
but they could lie. Like they could just be like, pick the athletes, and then be like, oh shit, they all picked Pat and he's not coming. Congratulations, Danielle Brandon. You're the first. Well, you know what I mean? Like
you could say that and say like, hey, Pat was picked, but he decided he opted out.
Or just don't say anything. Just like don't make the vote public and just be like,
that's fine.
You guys voted in your droves, and it's Brian Badande from South Africa is the first.
If they want to, I just think getting the community involved in it, again, this is a exhibition. So until it becomes a true team type of thing, which I don't think it should. I think it should be pure exhibition and pure fun and pure involvement for the athletes, but mostly for the community, to rally everybody up, to have fun watching. It's like watching the All-Star game. Like, it doesn't matter. You just get to see the best of the best go out there and having fun.
All right. So we talked about this last year, and I'm curious as y'all's thoughts now. We've seen 2 years of this. There is one format that we're all, I don't want to say hung up on, but looking at, is that how do we want to differentiate this from what the old invitational was? Because right now this is something very similar. Do we want something fresh? So I'll throw this idea out to you guys as kind of a alternative, is that if we really want to make this an exhibition, we really want to make this a fan-driven, I don't know about fan decided, but just like fans be a part of it as far as an excitement standpoint. If we really want to make this an all-star format, how do you feel is if we get, say it's 3 teams of, we'll call it 8, just like it is right now. 3 teams of 8. We have a pool of 24 athletes. And what would it be? 12 women, 12 men. The fans vote on, say, the team captains of 3 teams. And then the night before the event, there's a draft.
Like a schoolyard.
Yeah.
You're on my team.
Kickball team.
Right? So it's like, all right.
And then Guy is just left standing on his own, being like,
not again. Fan vote, right? And the things that we know, right? What would be going into the draft night going in, and maybe do it like a week before, whatever it is. But I think it should be in person. I think people should be able to go to it. Is we already know every single event and every athlete that's in the pool. And now we're going to do a draft of the people. And so each captain is now drafting their best version of a team based off knowing all the information. And so it's still an all-star team format, and we get rid of this fixation of World USA mixed with Canada, and now it's just an all-star extravaganza. Teams picked by themselves, captains voted by the fans, and you can get all the drama you want because like someone's getting picked first, someone's getting picked last,
and someone doesn't want that other person on their team,
and
they'll never go for that.
But did you pick all girls? Because you knew that, hey, this is going to kind of be the decider. All the guys are pretty much even keel across the board. I just think if we really want to make this an exhibition and make this exciting, I think scrap the world designations and just make it 3 all-star teams, 4 all-star teams of 6. It's the same number. Right.
But 3 and 3 still, you mean?
No, I was saying it's like that format is like 3 teams of 8 like it is now, but add another team.
Okay.
Right?
But as in you can't just have 6 guys.
Well, no, because like you have to, like if you say you're a female team captain, you pick 3 girls
2
right off the bat,
or whatever.
Yeah. Your next 4 rounds, you have to pick all dudes because you've already filled your team slots.
And then it also is like, yeah, who do you pick? You look at the group and say, all right, who's the strongest girl left? I'll pick them. The athletes would never go for that ever.
But you know.
No shot. They'll veto it if it's brought up as a potential idea. They'll nuke that. I mean, not a chance because I don't want the embarrassment of being left behind.
The NBA All-Star team already does it.
I guarantee you they will not do it.
I know you're right. And this would
It'd
show
be so fun, but it's like they are toilet paper that your finger goes through when you're wiping your butt. Like it's just not.
But this is the thing. These people who scream for professionalism are the least professional athletes I've ever seen in my entire life.
Chase,
if you want to be a professional,
I tell you, if you are comparing sports, you can only do it within certain parameters that proves your point.
Right. You're right. The NBA All-Star Game already does this. Like that's the cool part. And you know what? They did it in person before the game started. And these professional NBA players just had to sit there and take it if they were the last pick. And their team just gave them so much shit, or the other, like that was so.
But we're community. We're CrossFit. We can't make people feel bad because community.
So that's what I would think. All right, there's our suggestions. Whatever the cup will be called, maybe it is just the cup presented by Jim Reapers. Congratulations, Jim Reapers. We will see, but we are
say it the way that my dad says it. We're okay.
What did he say?
I can't say it on.
Yeah, you can.
Jim
Reapers? Say it with an accent, you're fine. As long as you got an accent, you're fine.
Yeah, it's an accent.
The Jim Reapers Cup.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us. We are 5 minutes to the hour. That means Around the Whiteboard on Pedro's show with Lucy Campbell, Tyler Watkins, and Kiefer Lamy will be going head-to-head ahead. Don't go anywhere. As soon as we close out, you guys will be taken directly to Pedro's channel. Make sure you let him know you guys came from here. Pedro, thanks for joining us. Bill,
Thanks for having
happy 17th anniversary, brother.
Thank you.
All right, guys, take
See you,
care.
Peter. Good luck.